Hi, welcome in. Welcome back to the workshop. I've had a week. It's been a week since I recorded a video. I'm going to try and record them weekly. Sometimes I record two in a week just to get slightly ahead. I don't want to get too far ahead of the release schedule. We're already very ahead of the release schedule. Only one video is out, and this is video 9. So hopefully that doesn't. I just don't want there to be a disconnect. So. Don't get me wrong, happy to chat about the early videos. Very happy to chat about the early videos, actually. But you know, we'll figure out. Look, again, I keep saying this is a we'll figure it out as we go type thing, and that's the way I like discovery to be. That's the way I like making to be. That's the way I like design to be. Nothing too polished. And I suppose that kind of plays into what we're talking about today. I'm going down to Melbourne. 2 days? In 2 days I'm leaving for Melbourne. Going down to PAX, Penny Arcade Expo, the Video Games Expo in Melbourne. Going to hang out on the show floor. Probably not too much, to be honest. I'm really going to be there just to hang out with some friends. There's a whole bunch of people coming from overseas, interstate, and it's going to be a real fun time. And it's interesting. Every year, PAX has creator passes that, you know, if you're a content creator, I hate the word content creator. Again, I think I mentioned it in one of my memos that I always feel like content creation just feels like X thing goes in X hole, and it has nothing to do with the creativity part. It's just, it feels too clinical for me. But every year, PAX has a creator's pass. And I was just like, I was going to apply for one. And then I thought, hang on a second, I kind of haven't done anything. Like, I haven't done anything that I can prove to them that why I would be useful to having a creator pass. And I was like, oh, maybe I should start doing, you know, show floor videos and things. And I was thinking, everybody does that. It's kind of started to become, that's just the standard you do. And I was like, what do I really want to do? What would I do as a creative, as somebody who just likes chatting to people and discovering and learning new things? And, you know, I've tried to start a couple of podcasts in the past, and I've always found like they're really fun to do for about 30 episodes. And then it's like, oh, I've got to do this again this week. And that's kind of the same thing with anything that's repetitive. I always struggle at a certain point. And that's why I'm trying to keep myself interested. That's why DoSE is so built on flexibility. Oh, I just hit the table, falling against the table. Like I said, lo-fi. Yeah, that's why DoSE is built on flexibility. It's built on me being able to do design, do streams, do workshop videos, tell you about sewing, coffee, and just do little tiny projects, but they all come from the same mind. That's why to do something, everything. Just do something, do everything, and we'll figure it out along the way. And that's kind of the brand I want to build. I want to say brand very, very, very loosely. But hopefully you all like that. So I was thinking, I've got these new Rode microphones I'm trying out. Have I been knocking my coffee against it this whole time? I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. Anyway, so I was thinking, what should I do? Like, what would I do as content? And like I said, I've done a few podcasts in the past, and like podcasts are really interesting to me because you get to just, especially non-video podcasts. Like when it's just audio, there's something about being able to consume it as you're walking along or as you're doing something else. And it can just be there with you. And I was like, what if we do a podcast? But like, it's not really the spot for a podcast because, you know, generally you have to organize groups of people in the same room or over the internet at a specific time, and everyone has to get all their equipment ready, and everyone has to be like, hey, is your microphone the right quality? Can it all sync up? Do we have to edit it later? And then I found a thing that kind of unlocked it all. So I'll take you through that in a minute. That's what this episode's about. My podcast, my PAX podcasts. I'm still unsure of the name. We'll develop that as we go. Something will come out, but it's going to be fun, I think. So I want to take you through that. I'll take you through an update on where I'm at with bags. Like the satchel I made. I took to Melbourne for a day because I had to work down there, and I'm learning a lot about what I want out of a bag. It's funny when you start having the skill to create exactly what you want, then you're a lot more critical about, oh, hang on a second, maybe it needs one of these, or maybe it needs one of these on the inside, or maybe we just rethink the whole thing. I've got a lot of thoughts going through my head about creating the ultimate bag. For me, maybe not for you, but we'll see. But yeah, let's go over to the workshop bench, and I'll show you a couple of things, and let's get on with it. Okay, so I've spent a whole week with this bag. Let's just do a quick bag update before we move on to my content for PAX. Just, distractions. I spent a whole week with the bag. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed having something that's custom. Like I said last stream, I think the zip if I change the zip to a plastic zip, it'd be better. It does. A metal zip is very, very catchy, which I think is fine if you're straight up and down. But this one because it has to hit corners, it kind of catches and drags a lot. So that's an update that will have to happen. It's real handy having a notepad that I can get to very, very quickly. My little clips came. These aren't the right versions of these clips, but they're enough to give me the vibe and to give me the prototype testing. I've shortened the strap a little bit. I think eventually I will make a strap that is extendable and not. I'm so enjoying. I didn't know that I would enjoy as much having a bag that has little pockets for things inside. And I know this isn't wild, and I don't mean just like one little pocket, because I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in here. Six pockets, and I've added a little strap here to hang my Rode wireless microphones on, and that's great because again it just gets it out of the way. Like being able to jump into a bag and go, I want a screwdriver. There is my screwdriver. I want a torch. There is my torch. I need to open a thing, so here's my little pocket knife. Like it's super fast. And now I was like, I'm rethinking the structure of this to have one open compartment and one very, very organized compartment of things like where I can put my mechanical pencils and my pens and stuff like that. So enjoying it. There are some changes to be made. I will make them in another video. I'm already designing, I'm already sketching, and we'll come up with something cool soon. I have some ideas. I've been able to carry more things around, like one of these deep hole markers. I'm starting to really, really like these. I bought them because I keep seeing people use them in workshops, and on the first day I bought this, I used it about 4 times for things. I'm like, wow, how did I live without a very fine point marker that I can get into holes and mark on a wall where I need to drill a hole, or where so I've used it in sewing, I've used it in a whole bunch of stuff, so that's cool. It's been a fun time. Look out for more updates on the bag as the bag happens. The other thing, just before we get into, I suppose it's kind of LinkedIn, not as in the platform, which is fucking boring, but as in linked to, is I got this bag during the week. I had a big North Face fuse box bag for about 5 years, and that's been my work bag. But it's always just been a bit big. It's a big, giant, square, red thing that's great if you need to carry lots of stuff. But that would just mean that I would end up just carrying lots of stuff to work. And I didn't really need to carry lots of stuff to work. So I was looking for a bag. I stumbled across this one. This one's from Adam Savage. who I love a lot, and it's kind of based on his first toolboxes, his original first auto retrieval toolboxes, which were kind of based on medical bags and things like that. So this is a bag. It's made of sailcloth and VX21, which we love VX21 already because it's the same stuff I've made this from. It's got little metal openings, so it kind of opens up like a doctor's bag. It's got a little pencil holder and things. So it's like some of the thinking that I started putting into that I found was already in this. So I'm kind of digging that. I've gone ahead and made some extra. So our DoSE bag 5, I made another copy of it, or another version of it, just with a slightly better zip with some little things. This one's my cable bag, which I've got all my chargers and an extra mouse and things in, so it's great for bringing to work. One is I made this little shape. I'm not loving this shape, but I figured I'd test out a whole bunch of stuff. A little box bag with some pencils and things in it. And I also made a little pencil case one. I left off the two little tags. I wanted to put an orange and a red tag on this, and I left them off. So I'll probably remake this one day with another one. But it's, again, it's all testing, it's all learning. And this is just a miscellaneous bag full of, little ratchets and just stuff I need occasionally on a whim. There's an extra torch in there. Can never have too many torches. But it's cool. It's like the right size. It's got a cool double zip on there. I'm looking at a lot of different people's solutions for their own bags, and I love how different people have different bags based on what they need. And I'm just trying to learn what is my bag that I need. Like you've got Laura Camp's emotional support tool roll, which I would love to get a hold of one of those, but they keep going out of stock. A whole lot of creators have their own bags and different thinkings, and it's nice getting your hands on them and using them and seeing how other people work, and then incorporating and then trying to use that to find the way you work. Anyway, bag. I took this. I've been traveling to work for that. I'm still not sure whether I'll take this to Melbourne as a secondary bag, because I'm bringing this thing, which is my mobile podcast setup. Let's put this over here, which is this thing here. This is a. Can you see that? Can you even get? I'm not even sure I can get this high enough to be able to make this useful. Let's move you out of the way. This is a Pelican Aegis 24 backpack. It's got a hardish shell on the front, plenty of little loopy things, little loops and zips on the side, and got a laptop pocket in the back. It's real sturdy. Now I got this bag for the very specific reason that I'm going to be running a podcast out of a backpack, and I needed a backpack that was going to be up for the task, that wasn't going to be like too heavy on my shoulders. Like this bag is very, very comfortable even when loaded up. Like its straps are nice and thick, but they're not like. Sometimes I find with bags that are very, very proper hiking backpacks or proper carrying backpacks versus just some fashion backpacks, they're real clunky over the shoulders, and there's too much bits and pieces. I just want a simple, no nonsense bag that's gonna work and be comfortable. And these straps are amazing. I cannot tell you how how comfortable this thing is to hold. And they add like little pocket here for things, and there's like secondary pockets inside the laptop sleeve. Is very unassuming, but you can fit a laptop in there, and the laptop just gets eaten by the bag, and you don't even notice you're carrying it in there. Oops, sorry, that's very, very close to camera. Anyway, I love this backpack a lot. It's a bit much to carry around every single day, but for carrying equipment, this is actually really cool. Let me show you what I'm going to talk to you about. is my mobile podcast setup. There's my headphones. Don't remember them. So you might remember our DoSE Bag 5, which has got my XLR cables in it, and this little thing. So, thinking through the problem of how to create content at PAX, and really wanting something different, I was cleaning up a bunch of weeks ago when I was organising the storeroom here, and I stumbled across this thing, which I've had for years and years and years. It's a little Tascam hard drive recorder. It's got 4 XLR inputs, plus a whole bunch of other little bits and pieces. It's designed to attach to like a DSLR camera or a video camera, and to do off-device recording of audio, but it can also be used as a standalone audio recorder. I've used it just plugged into a system to do backups of a podcast, so live backups where I would run an audio interface out into this thing, and then that would record a backup, which has kind of saved my ass a couple of times when the main recordings have gone down. I've used it just to record music demos because it's got some little microphones in it, so you can just sit on the table, hit record and play. And it's not the best, like those aren't the best, but they offer just the really quick ability to chuck it on the table and record audio. Now, I could record a podcast that way. It wouldn't be ideal. Like, I still want a certain level of quality from podcasts, because of those of you who know me will know I can get quite obsessive about audio, and not obsessive in the bit where it's like it has to all be about the audio, but I just like quality. I think quality audio is nice to listen to, and it helps when you're creating a thing that's got audio in it, that the audio is not difficult to listen to. Like when I'm streaming, I've dialed in that equipment to be what I like, and it's not entry level equipment, and it's taken me a bunch of years to get to the point where I've got the ability to get all the things that I wanted. Actually, let me show you what it is. It's just in the office. I'm pretty sure, hopefully the office is clean if I take the video in there. One sec, I've got to grab the microphone and we'll figure it out. Hi. Let me clip this to me. I'll bring this camera. Hi. Come in here. This is... Okay, so the workshop's here. Through this door. That is where the other magic happens. This is my desk. This is where I do all my streaming. There's Hockey. Hi, Hockey. So I use an RE20 microphone. It's a dynamic. It's got a variable D thing, which means that there's like a proximity effect in microphones. So if I'm this far away, it's about the right pickup level, but if I move myself close to the microphone, some microphones get very, very bassy and very like loud in a not a nice way. This one has a thing in the back which kind of counteracts that, so you don't get that weirdness happen. So I love it for content creation because I'm moving around a whole bunch, especially when Willow's hassling me. So there's that goes into down here. If we come down here, hi, look at me. Oh, here's my audio rack. That goes into one of these, which is a DBX 286S, which does compression, it does EQ, it does de-essing, it does like a little bit of enhancer. Is this an enhancer? Yeah, sorry, compression. So preamp, compression, de-esser, EQ, noise gate, and output. And then that goes into a Focusrite that captures the audio. So there's a lot of processing that happens just live in analog way. Bye, Hockey. And that goes a long way into being
my sound, I guess, or just like a sound that I enjoy listening to. Sorry, I'm just... Sorry. There's no elegant way to do that. All right, let's get back to here. You there? Hi. All right, welcome back. Let me put my microphone back here because it needs charging, so that's why I'm clumsily working with my microphone. So I found this, and then the idea hit me to do a mobile podcast. I could actually use this in a backpack with a couple of microphones and XLR leads to make a podcast with my friends. Because I'm going to be like catching up with a whole bunch of people, like I said, from different states and different countries, people who we love. There's like Una and Spud and Hawkey and Chris and Gia from Perth and Prav from Tasmania and just all these people who aren't together in the same room very often. And I thought I'd use that opportunity to capture these little podcasts. And I didn't want it to be this big deal of like I had to set up like too much equipment. Like it had to be, like I said, fit in a backpack, but also the audio quality had to be there. So how am I going to balance all of those wants and needs? And this little sucker is the central part of it because I can record 4 channels of audio at the same time to an SD card, no computer involved, so there's not this big hairy deal of me having to set up a laptop and then all this kind of stuff. So it keeps the conversation being the conversation, and we don't have to use headphones. I didn't want to have to use headphones because that's just other equipment. I wanted it to be really, really simple. And these are all people who are used to talking to microphones. So we're used to like not being scared of a microphone, and they know like how far a microphone has to be away from the face to be able to catch up. So what I did was I had a couple of these microphones, and I bought an extra 2, but these SM58s, standard microphones in the music industry, in all industry, virtually indestructible. I love these a lot. Look, they're not the most delicate and the most they don't capture every nuance in the voice, but you can hold them in your hand and you can chat into them, you can sing into them, you can be a bit rough with them, and they're going to be fine. And I didn't want anything I was going to have to baby during it, so I got 4 of these, 4 XLR leads, which are in the bag that we made. And then a couple of extra little things. I got a little US SD card holder. I got one of these bags. This is another Pelican Aegis series bag. Pelican Aegis series, honestly, like I'm not sponsored by them, but they have made some very, very clever things. This is actually just a regular. It's like they call them AV bag, and it's used. A lot of people, I think, use them for cameras and 2 lenses, but I'm using it to carry 4 microphones, an audio recorder, a battery charger, an Eneloop battery charger, and a Pelican, like an SD card holder, which has got a whole bunch of SD cards, and it's a beautiful little thing. I can set this up in 5 minutes, and I can have 4 microphones. Look at this. I can pull this out. I can get a microphone lead out of this bag, plug it into there, hit go, and we can be recording a podcast in no time. And we can do this in people's houses, in people's hotel rooms or Airbnbs. We can do this out in a park. We can do it anywhere. And then I'll just have to, and the benefit to this is it also allows me to record 4 channels of audio at the same time. I can throw all those into a DAW, and then I can edit it really, really quickly. And I'm so excited to bring it there. I don't want to like impose on our people either, but everyone seems really, really interested in just having a bit of a yap, which I'm extremely excited about. And I'm looking forward to scratching my podcast itch in a way that doesn't mean I need to record 52 episodes a year. I just have to record, if I record 3 to 6 episodes this year and get a feel for it and then bring it back next year, it's enough that year on year I can produce a really short podcast, and I can do it for PAX, and I might be able to do it if I go to any of the other cons or anything. I can do it for Supernova, or I can do it for anything, just on little trips and things. So it starts to become this thing that I can bring in and out whenever I want to, scratch that podcast itch, and it doesn't have to be this big thing, and it fits perfectly into DoSE. It's just do something, do it, make it lightweight. Aim for a little bit of quality, like don't eschew quality completely, but make it honest and make it feel like I'm not presenting at you. And this is going to be super laid back. I can't wait to chat to everybody and get their vibe. So hopefully that comes off. I think it's going to be fun. I'll be leaving for Melbourne in like I said, 2 days. I'll be back and start editing these podcasts together and release them on DoSE. So exciting. It's super exciting. So look after yourselves. Have fun. Go make something. And I'll catch you all soon. Okay, bye.